If you want healthy pets, there are a few basic things you need to do, like exercise, keeping up on the vaccines, and feeding them a healthy diet. But what about lawn chemicals? What does a pet owner need to know? Whether you care for your lawn yourself or use a professional lawn care company, over the next 15 minutes, we're going to give you important information about lawn chemicals and their risks for your dog or cat.
This is Dr. Do Better. Hello, John from California. You're on the air.
Hi, Doc. About all those chemicals, I treat my lawn myself. If you can just buy it in the store, it has to be safe, right? It's not like I need a special license to apply the lawn products I use.
Great question, John. What do the directions say?
Hey, it actually does say on the label, hazardous to humans and domestic animals. Harmful if absorbed through skin. Avoid inhalation of dust. Avoid contact with skin, eyes, or clothing.
In this video, we'll cover 5 points to help you protect your pets from the hazards of lawn chemicals. Point number 1. Read the labels.
You want me to give up sniffing? I'm a dog. I live to sniff.
Of course, it's hard enough to teach your pets to sit or stay, never mind complying with the directions on lawn products. Reading the label is a first step. You'll get some basics, such as how long the manufacturer thinks you should keep your pets off a treated area. However, a concerned pet owner really needs to know more. Point number 2. Do your own research. The website pesticideinfo.org provides a lot more information than the label will. You can type in a product name, and the website tells you known health effects of the product's active ingredients. It also can give you an idea of how thoroughly a product has been tested. While you may expect that any product available in a store is safe, that's not a reliable assumption. For example, until 2007, many people assumed that government regulators tested pet food for harmful chemicals. But then, tens of thousands of dogs and cats were made sick by toxic ingredients. The government failed to safeguard those pet foods. And it turns out, there are some gaping holes in lawn chemical regulation too. For instance, the label is required by regulators to list the active ingredients, those intended to kill weeds or insects. The confusing reality is that those poisons are typically mixed into larger volumes of so-called inert ingredients, yet many inerts are known to cause cancer and other health hazards. The government doesn't require inerts to be named on the label, even though we and our pets may be at risk. Here's another thing you won't find on the label. Many fertilizers contain toxic metals like lead, mercury, or cadmium, so much that a town dump could not legally accept them, even though you can buy them in the store and spread them on your lawn. As much research as you do on a lawn product, your knowledge of the risks or ingredients may still be incomplete. Chip Osborne loved his 2 Springer Spaniels that he brought to work at his greenhouse every day. He was a professional, but he says it was what he didn't know that hurt them.
Here we have Jessie, and she's the mother, and over here we have Sadie, who is her daughter. As hard as it is for a dog lover and a pet lover to admit, I indirectly was the cause of their death, and the cause of it was right here in my own greenhouse.
Both of Chip's dogs died of cancer, even though he says they were not genetically predisposed. Chip blames the fungicides he used in his greenhouse.
The one that I believe took the lives of my dogs was a fungicide solution. I would fill up this flower pot. The water would soak down through the soil profile and run out these little drainage holes right in the bottom of the pot. It would then hit the bench and then run through the slits in the bench down to that floor below the bench and collect there. The dogs absolutely love to get underneath the bench, burrow in that cool, moist soil, and sit there for a while just to rest and cool off. Little did I know at the time that what they were resting in was actually a substance that I truly believe was ultimately caused their death.
And Chip isn't the only one with a story like that. I have heard about animals suffering seizures after chemical exposure.
Chip was a professional, and he didn't know those chemicals were dangerous. What if the stuff I'm using today turns out to be nastier than I thought?
Show dog owners and handlers are very protective of their prized animals. One after another, they told us that they don't expose their dogs to lawn chemicals.
Personally don't use it.
Like, I won't do that.
I don't use anything like that in my yards.
You have to do it in a safe environment with them.
No, we don't use any spray, nothing. Absolutely not a thing.
My own yard is not treated at all, but I certainly don't go on any lawns that have been treated. After all, you know, they are low to the ground and they will lick their feet afterwards.
We have a lawn company every year that calls us, and I say, unless you have something that's friendly towards animals, I won't do it because I worry about poisoning, you know, of the dogs.
Science shows that spraying chemicals on a lawn translates to exposure to our pets. A study by researchers at Colorado State University found that dogs absorb measurable amounts of the common weed killer 2,4-D for several days after it is applied to the lawn. So, avoiding chemicals on your yard does mean less exposure for your pets.
What's up with those little signs? Are they trying to tell me something? Because I can't read.
Neither can I. They didn't cover reading in puppy school.
It's true. You can't count on your pets to read those signs. It's up to you to protect your pets from exposure. Sometimes our pets are exposed despite our best intentions. Robin Olson told us about an incident that started when her dog Moose was outside. She was doing laundry in her basement and began to smell lawn chemicals.
Still in the basement, my house smelled like pesticides. I'm like, and my first thought was, oh my God, Moose is outside. So I run up the steps and I look down my foyer from the basement. I'm on one end of the house and I look out the open door and there's Moose barking and there's the Camlon spray rig guy right there, dead center at my door.
Robin was understandably worried for Moose's safety and had no idea that Camlon would be treating her lawn that day.
The concern was, is my dog going to get sick?
Yeah.
And he told me, no, your dog's not going to get sick.
She says the applicator claimed that these potent herbicides would not pose a health risk even after Moose's direct exposure. Shortly after he was exposed, Moose began to act differently, and Robin knew something was wrong.
He was never the same again from that date.
From that
he
day
was
on.
very sick for the rest of his life, and it was like, you know, I was like a critical care nurse with him.
Robin feels betrayed by what used to be her lawn care company. Camlon was eventually fined by the state of Maryland for, among other things, applying chemicals in a faulty, careless, or negligent manner, and failing to observe all precautions. Moose's story reminds us, if you are using lawn chemicals, accidental exposures certainly can happen. No wonder many people have decided to live without lawn chemicals rather than take the risks of living with them. Point number 4. Use safer alternatives.
Daisy from Longmeadow. Go ahead.
Hello, Doctor. There's a simple solution to this problem. Humans don't have to use lawn chemicals at all.
But if I don't use chemicals, won't I have an ugly lawn?
A lot of humans think so, but it simply isn't true.
We cannot walk this dog down sidewalks 3 or 4 times during the year for 3 or 4 weeks at a time because the granules are all over the sidewalk and out into the street.
Bill Ravanisi is alert to the impact that lawn chemicals could have on his dog.
I'm just looking for a healthy lawn, and I think like anything I try to do in my life, I just try to do it well.
Bernadette Giblin is Bill's lawn care provider. After learning about the risks of lawn chemicals, Bernadette made it her mission to grow beautiful lawns using only safe, organic methods.
I do organic land care, and I pretty much focus on helping clients of all kinds transition from petrochemical fertilization to a totally organic approach that is 100% pesticide-free.
Bernadette says all you need to do is follow a few simple steps for a healthy green lawn.
Test the soil and find out what your pH is. If it's less than 6.5 to 7.0, you want to get that pH up to where it needs to be for grass to grow effectively.
To adjust the pH on her customers' lawns, Bernadette uses a natural mineral product made from seashells. Natural products like those can be less hazardous. Some lime products are quite caustic and can burn a pet's lungs or irritate its eyes. Read the label on any of these products and follow the appropriate precautions. Like Bernadette, you can use the safer alternatives to balance your lawn's pH.
But when you apply them, you want to make sure you take proper precautions. Like with this product, when I do put it down, a lot of dust does come up, unless of course it's raining, that would keep the dust down. But because of that, I'll wear a mask to protect myself from an inhalation hazard. I usually do encourage my clients to go inside and wait till I get the product down on the lawn, and then once the dust goes down, which tends to occur pretty quickly, everybody can come outside and play. The next step is you want to do an organic, slow-release fertilization, and that's just giving the grasses the nutrition they need to grow. So you give them the minerals, and you give them some nice healthy food. Sometimes I look at soil in lawns that have been chemically treated, and it has a kind of icky, moldy smell. Not a nice earthy one like this.
That good earthy smell should be part of the fragrance of any fine lawn.
And then, instead of killing anything, you want to overseed a lot. Seed is always my friend. It's what I want to use the most. I want to grow more grass. Mowing high, about 3 inches or 3.5 inches. Keep it shadier down below because most weeds really like it hot and dry. And where there's bare soil, they'll just come and fill in.
If you mow high and you overseed, the taller, dense grass will fill in the space where weeds might otherwise grow.
Their lawn naturally can crowd out the weeds without using any harmful chemicals. I have customers who have beautiful lawns. They're really stunned that they are not sacrificing beauty, that they actually get more.
Getting the right pH, using organic fertilizer, overseeding, and mowing high. The steps to a healthy, green lawn are simple enough.
It makes perfect sense to me. If I don't need to use these chemicals, I'm sure not going to use them.
As I always say, better safe than sorry. Right, boys?
Using those safer methods, you can avoid lawn chemicals on your own yard. But unfortunately, that may not eliminate all of your pet's exposures. If your neighbors use them, the chemicals can still get tracked all around the neighborhood and into your house.
Studies have found lawn chemicals in ordinary household dust, in carpeting.
Even your indoor cat can be exposed to outdoor chemicals. And even though your lawn is chemical-free, you may walk your dog in a local park or schoolyard that you don't realize has been treated. To truly create a safe environment for your pets, spread the word about safer alternatives. Point number 5. Get active. Bill Ravanisi is a great example of what it means to get active. Not only has Bill gone organic on his own lawn, he's also convinced many other residents to use safer methods. He convinced his town to stop applying pesticides at schools and parks from 2005 to 2007 and continues to fight for safer lawn care today.
What carried the weight was the letters that I wrote in the papers, the ads we took out, which were science-based, rational, realistic, and pointed out the public health dangers that the town was proceeding on. And I think, a number of people in this town are very smart. They got it. And if you decide not to use pesticides, you say, put one of these on your lawn.
Okay.
Harley can come on this lawn anytime and roll around and root around. And they started writing in, and slowly but surely, in a period of several weeks, the tide turned on it. So one small victory for one town. Now the challenge is to hold them to it.
In a growing number of towns, organized groups of citizens just like you are working to eliminate the use of toxic chemicals in places like local schoolyards and parks. Remember Chip Osborne, the greenhouse owner? His tragic experience drove him to embark on a new career path, educating others on safer lawn care methods. Like Bill, Chip, and Bernadette, you can work to encourage neighbors, businesses, and towns to phase out lawn chemicals and go with safer alternatives. It's the only sure way to keep our pets safe. When it comes to having a green, healthy lawn, there's no need to take chances. Read the labels, do your research, minimize exposure, use safer alternatives, and get active.
Just thinking about all those splendid lawns makes me really, really want to go out.
What's that stuff you're spreading around all over the ground? That's not the way it has to be. I don't want to get that stuff on me. Stuff gets on me just because I roll around and I lick my paws. Don't want to get it on my paws, don't want to get it on my claws, don't want to get it on my nose, don't want to get it on my toes, don't want to track it in your house, don't want to eat it on a mouse. I don't want it, you don't need it, that's as clear as I can be. 'Cause I don't want to get that stuff on me. No, I don't want to get that stuff on me.
Hey, there's a dog like me on that truck. Why is she selling lawn chemicals?